2020, our entire style of working has changed. One of the most noticeable impacts has been the increase in video collaboration, which has been shown to tax our concentration and potentially lead to fatigue or burnout when used in excess. We spoke to Google's David Rosenthal, a meet and voice specialist, to find out how to alleviate this virtual collaboration fatigue.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know what is funny, Paul? I think both of the words you used are accurate. I think virtual meeting fatigue leads to burnout, right? It's sort of an evolution, and I think there's no single solution there. I think there are a lot of things that need to be done. And they should be done sort of from an HR policy on down. Right. So I don't know about you, but I look at my calendar sometimes and I literally have, 16 back-to-back 30-minute meetings. Right. That is, I call it, that's my Monday. Right. I literally have 6, back-to-back, and it's hard to get something done. It's exhausting. And so, HR should have policies that say, block your schedule for lunch, for time to actually do your job. On the IT side, I think that it should be proactive, not reactive, to outfit all the users with devices that make them more productive. One thing that we noticed is that even when there are options to outfit people's home offices in a way that makes them more productive, a lot of people don't like being squeaky wheels, right? They don't want to be viewed as the problem child that needs all this care and attention at home. So a lot of people don't outfit their homes. Maybe they don't feel like they have their own personal technical skill to, set up an external monitor. Maybe they lack the construction skills to be able to vest mount, monitor on the wall. These are all things that are not, they're not skills that everybody has. And so one of the things we also advise G Suite customers to do is to look at the analytics of their meetings and to see who's joining from suboptimal devices like the PSTN, or who always calls in from a phone, and proactively sort of reach out to see if there's anything that they could do to help.
This leads us to the next question on what we can all do to create more structure and breaks in our days to prevent being in non-stop meetings.
Identify no meeting days. So these are some things that we're messing around with. So have dedicated days where there are just, no meetings unless it is an absolute emergency. So that'd be one. Number two is I think blocking out lunch is a really good sort of corporate-wide idea. We in G Suite, there's this concept called working hours. It's something that I use a lot because I'm on the East Coast and I work on a West Coast team. And my boss is heartless when it comes to scheduling meetings that interfere with my evening calendar. So being able to set specific working hours so that your work does not bleed into your personal time. I think that individually managers should keep an eye out, allocate kind of 10-20% of your time to, identifying sort of employees that might not be, managing their self-care as efficiently as they could. Sometimes it just takes a small conversation to empower people to say, you can do this, it's allowed.
Another concern that's come out of these changes is that we've lost some of the social capital that we create within the dynamics of offices. While collaboration software like Google Meet has been used for a lot of social events, we wanted to find out from David how to host better social activities via virtual platforms.
For me personally, that's very important, right? One of the reasons that I like working is I like the team camaraderie of working and problem solving. Like, that's important to me. And so There are a couple of groups of colleagues, and we get together, weekly or monthly, for a coffee or for a beer or for something like that. And we do a couple of things that make it not a meeting. Number one, everybody's got to go outside, weather permitting. So making sure that there's that environmental change, I think generally helps. We make sure it's scheduled. So one of the things is you're always like, I'm going to make time for maintaining these personal relationships just in the margins of my day. And, if you don't schedule those things, they don't happen organically like they do with the coffee machine or the pot of gummy bears, which is my personal favorite gathering point. So I think those things are different. And like I make it a point to do that, but I know other people don't. So, the question is, what's the company's responsibility to facilitate that? And maybe, how do we make sure that happens for people who, it's sort of not in their nature to proactively schedule those things? Do we enforce it? I don't know. There's a couple of other teams at Google that do different things. So the voice engineering team has a bad Netflix movie Friday, and so everybody recommends a bad movie that everybody watches together using the Netflix Watch Party app. So watch the movie and you chat, and it's got to be a bad movie so that like people aren't paying attention. They're just using it as an excuse to get together.
A big thanks to David Rosenthal from Google, who's been sharing insights with us on the ways to avoid fatigue and burnout, and how we can build social equity on our virtual collaboration platform.